Meet Xing. He's a creator with a very special talent. Xing just loves to build things with his hands. He makes amazing miniature worlds. These tiny creations aren't just for show. They're for his beloved pets. Dogs, cats, hamsters, each one inspires him to think smaller. Xing sees the world from their perspective. He imagines what would make their lives more fun. This passion drives him to spend countless hours designing and constructing intricate, perfectly scaled environments. 2 years ago, he completed a massive project, a complete miniature home for his cats. The cat house was more than a place to sleep. It was a multi-level structure with rooms, furniture, and tiny details that brought it to life. The creation gained attention worldwide as people watched his cats explore their custom-built mansion. The cat house's success was just the beginning. It connected with a huge audience of pet lovers and DIY enthusiasts. His journey is about pushing boundaries in miniature crafting, turning simple DIY projects into heartwarming tales of love and ingenuity. After the amazing cat house project was complete, Xing's fans were hungry for more. They filled his comment section with praise and suggestions for his next big build. Among the many suggestions that poured in, one idea appeared again and again. Many people asked, "Could you build a subway station for the cats?" The idea was intriguing. A bustling modern transit system, all in miniature, designed specifically for his feline family to use. The thought of a mini subway really captured Xing's imagination, but it was a far more complex challenge than anything he had attempted before. He was particularly stuck on two key features. First, how to make the train doors and platform screen doors open and close at the exact same time, just like in a real subway station. The second major obstacle, the escalator. A station wouldn't feel complete without a working escalator between levels. How could he build a tiny, functional escalator from scratch? For a while, these challenges made the project seem out of reach. The complexity was so high, he almost decided against it. Despite the difficulties, the idea refused to go away. The challenge was too exciting to ignore. Earlier this year, Xing made a decision. He stopped just thinking and started building. The journey to build a complete working subway system for Cat Town was underway, his most ambitious creation yet. With the decision made, Xing's workshop transformed into a hub of planning and design. He didn't just grab his tools. Instead, he dedicated weeks to research and sketching, studying real-world subway systems. His sketchbook filled with detailed drawings, exploring designs for the station, the platform, and the train cars. The process of designing the subway was a meticulous one. Every single element had to be considered and carefully planned. He drew up detailed blueprints, marking out dimensions, electrical pathways, and the positions of moving parts. How wide should the platforms be? How fast should the train travel? How would the lighting be installed to create the right atmosphere? One of the most critical aspects of the planning phase was material selection. He needed materials that were sturdy enough to withstand the playful antics of his cats, yet lightweight and precise. He spent hours browsing online stores and visiting local suppliers, sourcing motors for the train, LEDs for the station lights, and gears for the escalator mechanism. This planning stage was a quiet but intense period of creativity. It was where the true scope of the challenge became clear. Looking at his detailed blueprints, Xing could see every difficult joint, every complex circuit, and every precision cut that lay ahead of him. It was a daunting picture, but seeing it all laid out also filled him with a sense of purpose and excitement. The dream was no longer just a fuzzy idea. It was a tangible plan, a roadmap he could follow. As the blueprints took shape, Xing was forced to confront the two technical mountains that had initially made him hesitate. These problems were no longer abstract worries, they were concrete engineering challenges. Yet, as he sat at his design table, the solutions remained elusive. There were no off-the-shelf kits or easy tutorials. He was venturing into completely uncharted territory. He brainstormed dozens of possible mechanisms. He considered using magnets. He considered servos. He considered complex lever systems. Each idea was ultimately set aside. The challenge was immense. The train doors and the platform doors needed to align perfectly every single time. The escalator was an equally formidable beast. Creating a continuous loop of moving steps on such a small scale was a mechanical nightmare. The frustration was real, and simplifying by leaving these features out was tempting. Despite the difficulty, Xing made a crucial decision. He would not compromise his vision. He chose to embrace the unknown and commit to solving these problems, no matter how long it took. The mindset shifted, from intimidated to motivated. Innovation, perseverance, and the thrill of solving the impossible. The first major hurdle Xing tackled was the synchronized door system. This feature was absolutely essential to making the subway feel authentic. He envisioned the train gliding smoothly into the station, stopping at the perfect spot. Then, like magic, both sets of doors would slide open in unison. His initial attempts were fraught with frustration. He first tried powerful electromagnets. It was unreliable. He then tried a mechanical linkage. It was clunky and needed impossible alignment. After weeks of trial and error, he realized the solution had to be smarter. The key: independent control with perfect timing. He equipped both train and platform doors with separate micro-servo motors. The challenge shifted to electronics. He learned about microcontrollers and simple coding. He programmed a microcontroller to command multiple servos at once. Next, how to trigger that command automatically. He settled on an infrared sensor, a sensor on the platform, and a reflector on the train. When reflector and sensor aligned, it sent a signal to the microcontroller. The microcontroller instantly commanded all the door motors to open. An elegant, high-tech solution to a problem that had stumped him for months. While the door problem was being solved with electronics, the escalator remained a purely mechanical beast. This challenge was about creating smooth, continuous, safe motion. The core of his design was a chain and sprocket system, like a bicycle chain, running in a continuous loop. The creation of the tiny steps was a project in itself. He cut dozens of small L-shaped pieces from lightweight durable plastic. The steps had to attach to the drive chain, pivot correctly at the top and bottom, and fold flat for the return journey underneath. The repetition was mentally taxing. Powering the escalator was next. After testing several, he found a low RPM gear motor that was perfect. When he first switched it on, the steps would catch and jam, a clattering mess. Countless hours of minute adjustments followed, slow, painstaking refinement. Run for a few seconds, watch where it snagged, turn it off and make a tiny adjustment. Gradually, the movement became smoother. The tiny staircase began to glide in a continuous, mesmerizing loop. The impossible escalator was coming to life. With the most complex technical challenges solved, Xing could finally begin the main construction of the subway system. He first built a large, sturdy base to support the station, the track, and all the electronic components. Next came the track. The path of the subway train needed to be precise for smooth operation. He designed gentle curves and a long, straight section for the station approach. Every piece of track was carefully cut, filed, and secured. He paid special attention to the section in front of the platform, ensuring it was perfectly straight and level. Once the track was in place, Xing turned his attention to the wiring. Hidden beneath the baseboard was a complex network that would power everything: wires for the track power, station lighting, the escalator's motor, and the intricate synchronized door system. This foundational work was slow, but it was the most critical part of the entire build. After several weeks, the stage was finally set for the visible parts of the subway station to rise. Now it was time for the subway station to take shape. Using his detailed blueprints, he began cutting the walls, floors, and ceilings from sheets of acrylic and thin wood. He assembled the main walls first. The project started to look less like a flat model railway and more like a real three-dimensional building. With the main structure in place, he began adding interior details. He carefully installed the platform screen doors. He built the ticket barriers, the information booths, and the staircases. He used a laser cutter to create incredibly precise details like vents, grills, and signage frames, giving the station a sharp, professionally finished look. One of the most important elements was the lighting. He installed dozens of tiny LED light strips along the platform and concourse ceilings. When he switched them on for the first time, the effect was transformative. It suddenly felt like a real, functioning public transit hub. The final major piece was installing the escalator. Once secured, it looked absolutely stunning, a centerpiece of mechanical art. The Cattown station was finally complete and ready for its train. The station was ready, but a subway station is nothing without its train. Xing started by building the chassis. He had to heavily modify the frame to support the larger, custom-built body and its electronics. The body of the train was constructed from lightweight acrylic sheets. Assembling it was like building a detailed puzzle. The doors were fitted into their tracks and connected to the small servo motors that would control them. Inside the train, he let his creativity shine. He installed tiny seats, handrails, and even printed out miniature subway maps and advertisements. The final step was painting and finishing. He chose a classic color scheme of silver and blue. He added decals for the Transit Authority logo, the Cattown Metro, and the car number. When the paint was dry, he reassembled the body onto the chassis and tested all the functions one last time. The train was complete. It sat on the track, a sleek and powerful machine ready to make its inaugural journey. With the station built and the train assembled, Xing entered the final phase, adding the countless small details that would elevate the project to a breathtaking miniature world. He started by creating signage. He carefully cut each one out and placed them in their logical spots, making the environment instantly more believable. He then focused on weathering and textures. A real subway station is not perfectly clean. He wanted to capture a hint of this lived-in feeling. He didn't overdo it. He just wanted to remove the toy-like perfection of the raw materials. The project's soul truly emerged through the addition of tiny props. He spent days crafting minuscule details. He even printed a miniature newspaper, folded it up, and left it on one of the benches. These small storytelling elements transformed the station from a mere structure into a scene. After 4 long months, the construction was finished. The subway for his cats was no longer a dream or a blueprint. It was a real, tangible, and functioning world. All it needed now were its passengers. Before the grand opening could commence, there was one final, crucial task to perform: the cleanup. For Xing, cleaning up after a build was often the most tedious part of the process, a headache that signaled the end of the creative phase. This time, though, Xing had a novel idea. He joked that this was his new high-tech cleaning crew. The little robot whirred to life. It was a funny and slightly surreal sight, a piece of modern home technology interacting with the intricate miniature world. Of course, the robot was more of a fun gimmick. After letting it have its moment, Xing undertook the real cleanup himself. With a soft brush and a low-powered vacuum, he meticulously went over every surface. This final, careful cleaning was an act of love. With the last speck of dust wiped away, the moment was finally at hand. The 4-month marathon was officially over. The station was open, the train was ready, and the tracks were clear. The grand opening began with the arrival of the VIPs, very important pets, Mr. Nice and his feline family. Their initial response was one of cautious curiosity. Their ears twitched, their noses twitched, taking in the new smells and sights. Mr. Nice, ever the brave explorer, was the first to approach. He padded slowly towards the entrance, his eyes wide. A particularly amusing moment came when one of the cats discovered the moving escalator. This interaction was exactly the kind of delightful, spontaneous moment Xing had hoped for. Slowly, the entire cat family grew comfortable and began to explore more boldly. Their acceptance was a source of immense joy for Xing. The station was no longer just a static model. It was a living space, filled with warmth and playful energy. The stage was now perfectly set for the main event, the first ride. The moment of truth had finally arrived. Xing gently coaxed Mr. Nice into the open doorway of the sleek waiting train. He sniffed the interior, inspected the tiny seats, and peered out the window, choosing the best view. Xing initiated the departure sequence. Train doors slid shut, platform doors slid shut. With a gentle hum, the train began to move. It pulled away from the platform smoothly. The sight was surreal and deeply satisfying. The train completed its loop. Approaching the station, it slowed for a perfect, gentle stop at the mark.
Welcome to Cattown Station. Please give way to alighting passengers before boarding.
One by one, they hopped out onto the platform. The first ride was a resounding success. The Cattown subway was officially open. a spectacle of miniature engineering and feline curiosity, delighting creator and cats alike. The successful inaugural journey marked the beautiful conclusion of a 4-month creative marathon. For Xing, this project was a profound journey of learning, perseverance, and passion. He faced seemingly impossible technical challenges, but the final result proved the power of refusing to compromise on a creative vision. The subway station is more than a toy. It's interactive art, designed to enrich the lives of his beloved pets. When Xing shared the final video, it resonated with millions worldwide. Viewers admired the craftsmanship and felt the love and dedication behind it. Comments brimmed with admiration and inspiration. The global reception proved one man's subway for his cats could connect the world. The Cat Town subway is a monument to the bond between humans and pets, an expression of love, built from wood, wire, and unwavering effort. The story of the Cat Town subway is a call to action for the creator in all of us. You don't need to be a master engineer or have a workshop filled with expensive tools to start. Perhaps it will inspire a cat lover to build a simple cardboard castle, or a dog owner to design a new puzzle toy. The scale and complexity do not matter. What matters is the act of creation itself, and the desire to create something special for someone you love. Let this story be the spark that ignites your own creative fire. Look around your home, look at your pets, and ask yourself, what wonderful, fun, or silly thing could I make? Start small, learn as you go, and most importantly, have fun with the process. The journey of creating is just as rewarding as the finished product. It's proof of what passion can build.